shit, getting ideas and creating shit. We are now live streams, it says. Give me one moment though, just to confirm it.
It said, cancel, get out of here.
Yeah, we are definitely live.
We are live, folks.
I'm gonna open this up real quick and then lower the volume. Hello, everybody. Okay,
Hello,
that way
hello.
I can monitor the questions if possible. Okay, we'll wait a few minutes. There's only one person watching right now. Now there's two, and all of you are important. I didn't mean to say only one.
Here, okay. Yes. Now there are two people watching.
Oh, now there's six.
What up, y'all?
Good evening. Hello. I'm about to share this real quick before we. I'm gonna share this. We're gonna start in a minute. I'm just sharing this really quick because we got some information that we want as many folks to hear as possible. So I'm gonna put this in a couple groups and then we'll start.
Hello, hello.
Cello. Good evening. I still feel my coffee.
Oh, I haven't had not a single sip today.
I had coffee today. It made
That's
me not
awesome.
feel good though. I felt a little bit nauseous after I drank it. You laughing at me.
No, I'm just laughing because it's like that is pointless. Coffee that doesn't make you feel good is
Well, I
pointless.
mean, it just made me feel sick a little, but I
That
got
is
my energy.
pointless.
I know. I know, huh? I didn't
Pointless.
expect it. Shit.
Like, no, I'll pass. Thanks. I don't like the taste of coffee in any form.
I actually like coffee.
Um,
I'm addicted to coffee. That's what that is. The
mm,
flavor is addicting.
I
It's not
just need the
good,
caffeine.
but it's addicting.
Just extract the caffeine.
It's like a beer. Like beers are nasty, but sometimes you need them.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start. I'm Tanya, Black Lives Matter Sacramento, and I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm Mike, Black Lives Matter Sacramento.
And that's Amina, all in
I
my
mean,
face.
my spirit animal.
Okay, so she's officially, come on, get down. She's not letting me push her down. Um, get down. So we're on here tonight because we wanted to talk about a few things. Originally, we wanted to come on here and just talk about the protest that we're having tomorrow for Sherrano Stingley, who was killed by the Sacramento Sheriff Department. Um, we've been trying to push this fight. This family needs as much support as possible. That's how we get change, is when we have people power, and we need as many people to be involved in order to get that kind of power. So we want folks to come out tomorrow. We're going to be at the police station that's on, I'm sorry, the sheriff's department office that's on 65th Street, close to Florin Road. It's off of 99, and we'll be there between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m., which is, I think, when there's a shift change. And so that's the goal. If you work till 4 or 5, just come out after you get off work. It would be so appreciated. This family is fighting for their loved one who was unarmed and killed by the sheriff department. He was beaten to death. He was killed on site at the incident, but they held onto his body and attached him to life support to remove themselves from having any type of fault for killing him, and then left it up to the family to make hard decisions. Um, and so we're fighting for him. He had suffered mental health issues. The sheriff department, by law, there's a law that passed in 2018 that requires that they release all video and audio within 45 days. They have, our new sheriff, Jim Cooper, has blatantly said he is not releasing any video. His excuse was that it was a death while in custody. But if you look in the news, if you Google and look at when they started giving video, when they started complying with the policy, it was when Marshall Miles was killed, who was also killed while in custody at the Sacramento jail. And they announced on that, in that article, like, they released it to start complying with the policy for this in custody death. So that's BS, it's hogwash. What the sheriff is saying now doesn't even make sense. It sounds like just excuses. So the fight is going to be long and hard, but we need people to come out and help and support, because we keep losing lives in Sacramento, and we do not need to become desensitized to this. It needs to be treated like it's your family when it happens every single time. She's doing the same thing. Now she just turned off my screen. Get off, get down. Hold on. I can't see y'all, but y'all can see me. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Stop. She's only doing it because I'm on Zoom. But yeah, what do you want to say about it, Michael?
I just would like to see people coming out to support, bring forth the awareness. We're only powerful in numbers. We're a small band, but we're trying to like march along. All his Sherrano Stingley's life was important. He should still be here, and there shouldn't be any reason why the Sac Sheriff's Department shouldn't be held accountable for their actions. And oftentimes we see those cases are these cases that don't get publicized or media coverage, that doesn't get the support that it needs. We don't have the manpower or the attention. And so it just gets swept under the rug. And would you like really stand by and watch Black people's lives just get swept under the rug? And we can stand for it ever. It's not a matter of like no longer. This is an ongoing fight. Like we have to continue to stand up and be there and fight for our lives. So we really just wanted to come to this space to bring awareness, first and most importantly, for the protests being held tomorrow at the Sheriff's Department at between 4 and 6. So check out the page to get the location and time.
Yeah, I think it's like 77. I don't have 'em. I think it's like 7700 or 7700 65th Street, but it might be 7065th Street. My brain doesn't remember things good. But to add to what you just said, Michael, like while we've been doing this work in 2014, we have lost 20 people to law enforcement, killing them. Um, that is really high numbers for one city. So Sacramento is off the hook. And the only reason that it continues to be off the hook is because the only time that we really turned up and showed people power was when Stephon Clark was killed. While that was very deserving, he deserved that attention, but there are a lot of other families that are grieving their loved ones and they did not get that type of attention. Therefore, the fight has not been as impactful, or on as impactful on a consistent level, on the same consistency that they're killing us at. And so we do have so much power. Like if you look back at when Stephon Clark was killed and you look at how we made last minute decisions, like shutting down a freeway, shutting down a Kings game, all of that was done with last minute decisions. We didn't organize for that. We didn't plan for that. We didn't strategize for that. And just think the power that we had in that moment to make the Kings lose billions of dollars that night and then decide to get on board with Black folks in Sacramento and start supporting Black organizations. We also inspired different bills at the state level because of us shutting down the freeway, and certain senators and assembly members were impressed by us making those big moves. We did all that without organizing. So just imagine what we could do if we actually organized and strategized and planned and fought with tons of people, but on a level that's way more strategic than we did the day when we made a really huge impact with a lot of people. So I just want to put that out there real quick, because we have a lot of people that have died and we have a lot of families that are still mourning and still fighting for justice. And we really need people to show up for folks.
What is the number you said since 2014?
Yeah, 2014 is when we became an organization, August of 2014. Right before we started, that's when Gabby Navarez was killed by the Citrus Heights police. And so she's number one on our list, because we have helped that family fight. And then since then, After that, it was Adrian Ludd. But yeah, since then, it's 20 people now. And that's not even including the different families that we've fought for that have not lost a loved one, but have been abused by the police in Sacramento. So that was the first thing that we want to talk about. We also, I know I posted about this earlier, and we want to talk about this now because it's gotten ridiculous. Um, we have a garden, and the purpose of the garden is to grow food and give it out to Black folks in Sacramento. Um, Victor Brazelton, who was with our group, he passed away. This was a vision that he had for the land that we had, and so we've carried it out. Um, Originally, we carried it out, to keep the legacy that he wanted to bring to the group. But it has become a part of us now. We are definitely gardeners now. We have gone through several greenhouses, mostly due to weather, but recently, and this is and I'm gonna backtrack after I tell you what happened recently. So recently we went to the garden, or actually one of our waterers. We got folks that volunteer and water on a daily basis. And since we don't have plumbing at the garden yet, we've got folks that also volunteer and bring water to the garden on a daily basis. One of our waterers, or I'm sorry, one of the persons that brings the water, um, she went to the garden and our greenhouse was just totally gone. Now we put it up, we assembled it, and then we took cinder blocks with ropes and tied them. We tied cinder blocks together and put the ropes over the greenhouse to hold it down so that when it was getting windy, that we wouldn't have to worry about it flying away or getting damaged by the wind. Then we also secured it from the inside with cinder blocks. We just did a whole bunch to make sure. We have J hooks, like all this. And I know some people probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but like J hooks are these really heavy duty hooks that go into the ground, but they also hold things to the ground. They're very heavy. Like it's hard. Like one little J hook is very heavy to hold. We had those planted and holding it down, as well as cinder blocks and ropes. Somebody took the whole greenhouse. They took the greenhouse, its structure, the cover, like they didn't leave one lick of the greenhouse. We went and one day just there was no greenhouse in the spot where the greenhouse was.
But the cinder
And
block.
right. So we thought maybe somebody unhoused took it. And just, we frowned, it's a loss, because that's a greenhouse is good for shelter. And we know that we've let some folks that are unhoused be in our space sometimes when we're not there. So we thought maybe somebody was like, okay, I want to take this greenhouse and just make whatever out of it. But it got returned Saturday. It was thrown back into our garden. It was damaged beyond repair. There's no way to repair it. So somebody had the means to pick it up, take it, this big old greenhouse, and then return it damaged. Somebody that's living outside would not have to do that. They wouldn't do that. Like even if it got damaged, they would keep the tarp part of it or something. And so this, along with a lot of other events that have happened, lead us to believe that it's probably law enforcement or folks that support law enforcement. We've been, I want to say robbed. That's not, our garden has been broken into and things have been stolen. We've had plants or green, like vegetables that we're growing. We've had them dumped out on the ground, and then somebody stole the planters that they're in. We've had like when we were growing sunflowers outside of the fence so that it could beautify the area, somebody was coming and cutting them down from the bottom of the stem while they were super tall. We had we have this, it's like a planter box that is enclosed. It was all messed up. Somebody took it and messed it up. I think they tried to take it, but they realized they couldn't. So they left it, but they messed it up. We had weed whackers stolen. I don't remember all the things. Oh, our floodlight that we have for our security when we go into this space has been taken away. I guess whoever is coming up to the fence doesn't want to be seen, so they took the floodlight. Our fence has been damaged. And so at this point, I'm gonna stop being delusional and thinking that it could be something else, and just somebody's vandalizing our space and they're doing it intentionally. And the only people that would do that is law enforcement or someone that supports them and hates us. And we've had enough experiences like this in our personal spaces to know that this is likely happening. So I put out a call and asked for folks to help donate because we're going to have to make a makeshift greenhouse. We're not going to get another greenhouse. Someone's building us one that's, an actual building in the next couple months. Out of Hopefully that one will be safe. It'll be out of windows. Um, but in the meantime, we have to grow vegetables and we need the greenhouse to keep our seedlings protected and the weather, keep them warm and stuff. So we're gonna have to buy some supplies to create this makeshift greenhouse that we're gonna try to create. We also need to buy some stuff to continue to grow, get our spring vegetables started. So anything that you guys can donate is going to be super helpful. We've been super broke as an organization for the last couple months. Our bills are past due. So we just need all the help that we could get. I'm not good at asking for money, and I know I'm probably saying words that a fundraiser would say, don't say that, but I'm just going to be honest with everybody. Like, we're broke, we need help, we need the community right now.
And being blackballed.
Yeah,
This is
yeah, yeah. What, blackball? Yeah,
yes.
yeah. That could be it. Yeah, that could be it. Because we're applying for grants, we've gotten some, but also the fact that we're not, like, right now the city is giving out tons of money for different things. It seems like they literally look at what we're doing and they say, oh, let's give a fund for that. Because once you get city money, then you're literally beholden to them. You have to report back to them on how the funds are spent. It's a conflict of interest if you're fighting them while you're taking their money. So we don't take city money, we don't take county money, we don't take state money. We've never taken federal money, because we are fighting the city police, we are fighting the county sheriff, we're fighting the CHP, which is at the state level. We're trying to get politicians to make laws that lean into abolition and lean into people power. So we can't do all that and make demands and then also take their money and then report to them. That just doesn't make sense. There's a lot of people that do it, but that's not us. So that narrows our pool of options when it comes to applying for grants and things. We do apply for grants that are specific to the work that we do. So that way nobody's asking us to do something that we don't do. And then we become beholden to them in a way that we don't work. And so that also makes our pool shorter. And so for that reason, the pool that we do have to dip into, it's very competitive because there's not a lot of, a lot of funders that are funding Black liberation work. And then on top of that, you have a lot of organizations doing the work all over the country, all over the world, that are needing the funding. So it's competitive. We've been denied for a lot of grants. We've been approved for some. We're still trying to build our community home, but we have not even been pushing that because we're just trying to sustain right now. So I just wanted to put that out there. We are being harassed. We're being terrorized by the police in a freaking garden where you're trying to give free food to people. Like, nobody should oppose that. Nobody should ever oppose that type of work, but they're trying to make it impossible for us to do that. So any help will be, and I'm just running my mouth. It's that damn coffee. Michael, you want to add anything to that?
Is it just the coffee? Yes, the citation that we received on our land,
Oh yeah.
was very targeted, yeah, um, and definitely not a bill that we could afford or need, especially while trying to service the community in such a way. If any of you have seen the recent pictures that have been posted, beautiful, wonderful gifts that we are giving to Black folks, feeding them greens that we're growing straight from the garden. And if you've heard anything that Tanya just said, and if you didn't, I will repeat it. Like, the land is not even, we don't have plumbing. So this is literally like from hard work and effort and grown straight out of the ground in this community. And so I feel that it should embody and enrich the land that we're trying to grow on and the food that we're trying to replenish in the community.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's a lot of work too. It could easily be like we have our hands dipped in a lot of things, but like, can you get down, please? We have our hands dipped in a lot of things, but doing growing food for the community could easily be a main thing that one organization does, and that's it. Because there is a lot of work, especially when you don't have water. There's a lot of work that is involved in like people
Right.
are literally, we've got volunteers literally taking those crystal geyser gallons of water. We bought them once, but now we just fill them up with water. So we got like the woman that discovered that our greenhouse was stolen. She literally brings like 80 to 90 gallons of water with her to the garden twice a week. In the summer, we have to do more than that, like because it's such a dry heat in Sacramento. Um, get down, get down. So yeah, there's a lot of work involved. We're working our butts off. Um, I know as a human being, my personal self, like I'm not a chest beater. Like I don't beat my chest and like there's a lot of background work going on that people don't see, but it's happening. Um, and it's exhausting and it's filling our weeks up. Like I work at least 40 hours a week doing this work. So just keep that in mind. If anybody ever wants to help out or volunteer at the garden, we're out there every Saturday morning. Please feel free to hit us up in an email, info@blmsacramento.com, or call us up at 916-581-0061. We could always use help with the garden. Um, but yeah, we have a lot of things stacked against us, and so that makes it a little bit harder. And so, yeah, if you can't make it out, but you want to help out, please feel free to drop $5, drop $10, drop $50, drop $500, like whatever it is that you could help out with. It's very, very much appreciated and celebrated. What else do we want to talk tonight about? Oh yeah, and you mentioned the citation.
Yes, that's
We got
right.
a citation. So we have two parcels of land. One of them has nothing on it but grass. The other has a garden. The grass one is going to be a building at some point, but it's next to another parcel that has grass. It looks like one big piece of land and all the grass is the same height. But for some reason, the city of Sacramento, one of their officers put a citation on our land for the grass being too tall. And it's not even as tall as it was when we purchased it, and there wasn't a citation when we purchased it either. They also put that it's a blighted area. Blighted is usually referred to a building that is not livable. There's no building on our land. So we have a citation now that we have to, and we'll have no problem adhering to it. But it's just more harassment. And when, I used to live on Franklin
14th.
Boulevard, huh?
We got notice, or we got the information that the citation was left on the 14th. Mind you, that's following that big
The storm.
storm. Yeah.
It's all flooded and they want us to cut the grass. Like,
How?
yeah.
How?
Um, when I used to live on Franklin Boulevard and the police knew where I lived, I got citations for having my garbage out the day after garbage day. I got a citation on my house for it being blighted, even though my house was not blighted. It was very well taken care of. It was a cute Curtis Park house. Um, this is a form of harassment. The same week that they put a blighted on my house, they put a blighted on another member of our chapter's house, even though her house was in Meadowview and it was super well taken care of. So like this is what they do. So we're just, okay, we see you, we see what you're doing. But yeah, we just need the people to stand with us. Oh, I gotta put y'all on hold. Michael's gonna talk to you guys for a moment, okay?
So I just want to urge everyone. I mean, even if you can't come out to the garden on Saturdays, it would be great if you just, share the post that we have on the Black Lives Matter page. And if you're not a part of the garden group, it would be also awesome if you guys all can join in that space and see and celebrate. The work that we are doing at the garden, um, it is extremely like what Tanya said is grassroots work here. Um, I bring my kids out typically on those Saturdays, force them to get down into the dirt, and sometimes they like it and sometimes they don't. But it's all just to pour back into the Black community, and recognizing the space and the community in which we learn and grow and continue to thrive in. But yeah, definitely show up when you can. Um, be active in our space. We love um, sharing the education of all of this and and sharing the experience of being a part of the Black community. Also, just want to post here the location address for tomorrow's protest, which will be held between 4 and 6 p.m. And we've had signs. We did the sign making party on Friday. It was a nice time to join in and just show our creativity and laugh and entertain one another. Also, it was a great learning experience for me as well. First time attending such an engagement to uh, uplift and share space with folks trying to um, support Sherrano Stingley's family, especially at a time like this. So, yes, we would love to see folks coming out and support and recognizing the space of and and the opportunity for us to just show up and support one another. She's back.
I'm back. I try to be as fast as possible. Okay. I didn't even get to hear anything that you said, so
Good. I was just rambling on and
you're
on.
just taking up space, taking up time.
Yeah.
Um, is there anything else that we wanted to bring up that we didn't talk about yet?
No, I think that was it. We really just we talked about the garden on Saturdays, our greenhouse, the citations, the protests, doubling down on that. Um, I did a tidbit on the sign making party. So those who do come out, there are signs for many to have and share in that space.
Before we go, I just want to re-mention, and I say re because we posted about it, but lift the names of Desmond Phillips, who was killed on March 17th. So it on in 2017. So we just passed his angelversary. Um, and then also Stephon Clark, who was killed on March 18th in 2018. She's on one. I'm sorry. Khalifa, stop. She's doing that on purpose because I'm on the Zoom. She's just a mess. That's your spirit animal, though, right? But yeah, I wanted to lift the names of Stephon Clark and I want to lift the names of Desmond Phillips, um, just because they're still fighting for justice. I mean, some of them have gotten more things than others, but those officers are all still out on the street working. They have not received any repercussions for their actions. And so we know, like with Stephon Clark, that the courts are not going to do that, but maybe the universe will. So we're still hoping for justice for these families, and we're hoping for repercussions for these officers who murdered people and still get to work. But I think that's it. Um, I don't see any questions by anybody watching. But we'll be back. We're going to start bringing our podcast back. This wasn't intended to be a podcast. We just wanted to talk about the protest, but there's so many other things going on. We decided to elaborate. Um, but we're going to be coming back with our podcast, the Niggas is Tired podcast. And that's spelled Negus for the folks that might want to get offended. But yeah, we'll be back, and we hope that y'all have a good rest of your evening and week. Don't work too, Black folks, don't work too hard. Don't work harder than your white counterparts. Um, all
Yeah.
hustle isn't good. Sometimes we got to take a break and rest and take care of ourselves. So please continue to do that if you're already doing it. If you don't, please stop what you're doing and take time to rest. But that's all I got to say. You want to say anything before we out?
Yes, I want to double down on that. Normalize Black leisure, please.
Mm, yes,
Normalize it.
yes. What do they say? Living the soft life. Live softly.
Live soft and very loud if you need to.
And loud if you need to, and take up space when you feel like it, and get the fuck out when you feel like it. Like, just do whatever it is that feels right. I know that's a whole nother conversation, but I just
Definitely.
wanted to drop that. We're all trying to instill that in our lives. So, all right. Have a good night, everybody.
Night.
Let me close this out.